as the race leader, Dan Harper, laying down another marker for not only this championship, but also good pace you can expect in the British Grand Prix supporting Porsche Super Cup race. It runs on Grand Prix day, of course, and Dan Harper down towards Tower, 5 seconds clear of Josh Webster. That's impressive.
That's an impressive run. You'd have thought Josh would have kept on his tail. Maybe there's some work to do on the setup, or get some. Now they've had some dry running here. Change the car a little bit, maybe, but certainly Josh will want to reduce that gap or beat Harper in race 2.
So Dan Harper then looking for a 3rd victory of the season. He leads the championship, and this is going to stretch that margin. Josh Webster set for 2nd place, and Jamie Orton looking good for a class win. Jamie having started 6th on the grid, that'll be his maiden Pro-Am victory of the season. But Dan Harper then up towards the hairpin for the last time. Checkered flag is at the ready, and honours in round 5 of Carrera Cup GB will not go to Dan Harper. He spins out of the last corner. He's got it going. Where's Josh Webster? Can he bug him on the line? Harper's just about recovered it. He will take the win after all. But Dan Harper, oh so nearly threw that away. The gap was 5 seconds. It ends up as 4/10. Dan Harper, what were you doing?
Well, whether he was trying to style that out coming out of the last corner, I don't know, but it wasn't the time to show off, was it? He certainly didn't need to floor the throttle. No traction control on these cars. Phew, he got away with that by the skin of his teeth.
Blimey. Dan Harper wins round 5 of Carrera Cup GB, and you'll easily spot him when he gets out of the car. He's the one with the red face, because that could have gone horribly wrong.
It could have gone horribly wrong. He'll be very pleased, but Josh Webster will be laughing. I mean, here we go, replay. Coming into the final hairpin. He's only got to stroke it round to the line. He gets on the throttle. I think he was trying to start it out. I think he wanted to do a nice big broadside and show off to the rest of his team. That nearly went so wrong.
And Josh Webster, had he been half a second closer, would have been past him and taken the win. But it was not to be. There's the spin. Dan Harper. Guaranteed that won't be shown at the Porsche End of Season Awards. Much, will it? God.
Oh dear.
The red-faced Dan Harper wins at Croft. Josh Webster 2nd, Jamie Orton 3rd. Let's have another look to embarrass Dan.
Yeah, he was definitely trying to style that out. You heard him, he came into the corner a little bit wide. You heard him boot the throttle first, and it didn't move. So he booted it a bit harder, and round it went. Oh, Dan.
Oh. Well, he still wins. Doesn't matter by how much you win, as long as you win. But yes, there is some explaining to do, I think, after that. Dan Harper wins in this 5th round of Carrera Cup GB, a 3rd victory of the season. And once he's got his excuses lined up, he can recount them all after the break. High drama at the end of round 5 of Carrera Cup GB. Dan Harper, race leader, loops it coming out of the last corner. And a 5-second advantage, oh so nearly disappeared. Instead, he hung on by just 4/10 of a second to win from Josh Webster. And differing emotions on the pit wall from the JTR mechanics running Dan Harper's car. The spin, and then the relief. Just hung on to win. Dan Harper, the winner of round 5 of Carrera Cup GB from Josh Webster. Jamie Orton 3rd to win the Pro-Am competition ahead of Seb Perez and Dan Vall. Carl Leonard 6th ahead of Esme Hawkey. Peter Kyle Henney is the winning Am. Lewis Plato after damage early on 9th and after a pit stop for a new tyre. Justin Sherwood in 10th. Tom Roach retired with damage. So too Jack McCarthy and George Gamble. John Ferguson spun into the muddy grass on the opening lap. As far as the championship is concerned overall, Dan Harper has an 18-point lead now over Lewis Plato. George Gamble is 3rd ahead of Josh Webster. It's Seb Perez and Dan Vaughan to round out the top 6 ahead of the Toms, Tom Roach and then Tom Wrigley.
Dan, the very last corner of the race, that was a bit of a heart-stopping moment, to say the least. What happened?
Yeah, it was. Wow. I've never felt that in my life, how scared I was. Just a silly mistake, trying to be a bit of a show-off, and it didn't work. So I've learned that now. But after such a calm, controlled race, you know, the car was perfect. Thanking JTR for that. And, you know, I was doing a good job. I'd pulled the gap after the safety car restart, and got into a nice rhythm. And then, yeah, just a silly moment.
Any idea how you lost it?
Just came out, had lock had a bit of lock on, planted the throttle, and yeah, just done a pirouette. So thankfully the car didn't stall, and I was able to get going and got to the line first.
And you had the margin over Josh, which was quite something. And this is a battle that so many people are looking forward to, yourself and Josh Webster.
Yeah, definitely. I know he's won the championship before. He's an ex-champion of Carrera Cup, so he's definitely going to be one of my main rivals for the rest of the season. But I feel we've got the pace over him at the minute, but we just need to keep it that way.
One thing I was going to say to you before that moment on the last corner was the grip on this new surface for the Porsches looks fantastic.
It does, yeah. I mean, the car feels amazing underneath me. So much grip to play with, and yeah, the car was amazing.
But I'm sure it's concentrated the mind for the next race, which is, well, coming up about 4:30. Can you do the double this afternoon?
I hope so. We'll give it a go anyway.
Fantastic stuff. Well done, Dan. You did well to survive that moment. And Porsche Carrera Cup, well, it's back in action, as you heard, at 4:30 with Dan Harper, our race winner.